All right, so we are stopped here in the study title. So the study title I have just explained. I don't know where exactly you are. The Zoom was disconnected. So the oral bioequivalence study is comparing with the marketing drug with the Astra from US market drug. Okay, so the basically we are checking on healthy adult human subjects
Mm-hmm.
under fasting conditions.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say, like, do you have any doubts so far so that we can?
No.
Okay, so in this project, so we have two periods as I mentioned. So in period one, then we have
Sorry. So one question, Ali. So
yes,
basically here in the subject title, uh, the active drug is 10 milligram from India, right? Air.
yes,
And
yes,
the reference drug we are using is from drug X, like
yes, from
basically,
US,
basically, okay,
from
from.
US,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the period two, so we have like the stages like washout period.
Mhm.
Okay, so the period one and period two, these are the two period is talking about, and the washout period, which is usually will have 21 days in these projects.
Mhm.
So what does it mean, the washout period? The washout period basically, um,
The drug
what,
to eliminate out from the body.
yeah, so completely
Out of the body.
remove from the body. So the drug taken before goes to the drug taken in the period one, in period one before goes to period. Okay. That is washout period. They
Mhm.
will ask you a question: what is the washout period in the interview?
Okay.
And why do we use the washout period in this particular
Okay. Yeah.
sentence? They will ask you. And so another one is what is epoch? So this is the variable you get in exposure data sets, okay, or subject elements data set. But we will go through the once we get to the subject element data set. Because why I'm trying to tell you here, because the period one, washout period, period two, screenings, those we call as elements, okay.
Okay.
Um, okay. So here two important interview questions. So what is elements?
Mm-hmm.
Elements. And what is epoch? Yes, the elements are each steps conducting
Mm-hmm.
in the study. Okay. For example, for example, screening, treatment. So the period one we calling here is the treatment periods. Okay,
Okay.
treatment periods, washout periods, steps. You know the steps they have to follow. That follow up. It is. So that depends on the project. You will have a different steps. Okay.
Okay.
So in general, if they ask you the what are the elements, you can say like this.
Okay.
Okay. So in epoch, the basically the people, for me, I used to say like this group of elements, group of elements. So one epoch is consider all these things: screening, treatment period, washout period, follow up.
Okay.
So all those will be as a group of elements we call as a one epoch.
Okay.
Um, but there is a different definition, but I'll give you after. I don't remember right now. Which is like most um, good thing for you to tell in the interview.
Okay.
Because this one is group of elements. If you say like that, they will they don't understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me check 1 second. Okay, so I don't have that information here. So yeah, yeah. Sure. Okay, so in clinical trials, an epoch refers to the specific time period during which a particular phase of the trial is conducted. Each epoch is defined with a set of rules that govern and conduct the trial during the time. A clinical trial can have multiple epochs, with each epoch representing the different phases of the trial. So you can say like this: the clinical trials can have multiple epochs. So one clinical project you will have a multiple epochs. So either you can have like all these things in one sequence, or you will have another sequence. You will have other things like the same periods. So those ones will be considered as a one epoch.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the definition. You can just copy it in case
Yeah.
if you need. Um, So another the element is a clinical reference specific component. Okay, this is the specific component which is like one screening, example screening treatment. Those are specific components. So those one will consider as element. Uh, okay, so all right, so so we can continue from here. I will show you the clinical protocol to you today and the SAP. You go through the inclusion exclusion criteria. What are the exclusion criteria for the subjects? So what do you have to find out for me today, tomorrow, for coming to the class from the clinical protocol? Just let me know how many subjects in the projects, and what are inclusion exclusion criteria. Uh, so obviously the study design I explained in the study title also. So you can check for the study. What is the study design?
Yeah. Yeah.
Study design. So what else we have? Um, yeah, that's it. I guess you'll get all this information there. And what are some derivations? Derivation in SAP mentioned. Just the like the
So,
brief. It's not like need to know explain everything, but just okay, this is the derivations or this is the things.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I have to find like what derivations that we need to
Yes, exactly. In the
make,
SAP,
right?
I will show you today SAP and the clinical protocols, and you just need to
Yeah, I'll try to
get this
find these
information.
answers. Yeah.
Yeah, because why I'm telling this one, these are the main thing you will be finding in your clinical protocol in real time also. So for you to practice yourself, it's easier if you can do like this.
Yeah.
And this project is very small, okay? So, and you can easily find out all those things, all this information.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and just look for the tables. What are the tables they're asking for?
Okay.
In SAP. So you won't get in the protocol, but in SAP you will get it.
Yeah.
So these are the 5 questions you will get tomorrow for the answers. Okay.
Yeah.
So we go to the next one. So okay, so I'm gonna start with the SDTM classification. Okay.
Okay.
So this is class 2. So I'm going to kind of stop it for after finishing the SDTM classification. Okay, so usually you will get the SDTM classification in SDTM implementation guideline. Okay,
Then
so SDTM, which is study data tabulation. Okay, so SDTM implementation. The current version is 3.4.
2. Oh, 3.2.
Well, we are using 3.4,
Oh,
so which is in the 20, I think 2020 November 18.
okay.
And there are some changes. So what you have to do, like you go to the C disk. Okay, C disk. C disk is clinical data interchange standard consortium. So they will provide. So here the question: what is a C disk? Okay, I'm asking for as interview questions. What is a C disk? Let's say, for example, if you're trying to explain someone from the non-clinical background, someone from the IT field, and when he come to the clinical side, and how do you explain what is the C disk? So this is the question that recently asked one of the interview. So you have to explain like this: the clinical data interchange standard consortium is the organization. Okay.
So,
Organizations. So they have established like some standards, like clinical data standards, by providing the guidelines, okay, implementation guidelines. Um, so when you are submitting the data to the FDA, you have to follow the structure. The
C disk.
structure
Okay.
is not like you just send the data as it is. You have to follow some structures. So those structures will be provided to the CDISC organization. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, if you're like for example, if you're working in India and you're working for one company, and the company have some standards for analyzing the data. Okay. But what happened if the same if another country, like let's say in UK, one pharmaceutical company, if they have their own kind of standards, so each company, if they have one kind of standards, it's going to be like a big headache for the FDA to understand their standards and understand their standards, and they come up with something new, the conclusion part, which is like more hectic for the FDA. So they don't want it like that. So let's say, for example, um, in India, you follow the CDISC guidelines. In UK, you also follow the CDISC guidelines, and the FDA will accept the CDISC guidelines. So it's easier for them,
Yeah, yeah.
It's easier for the FDA, easier. So because everyone's sending the data in the same process, the same standards, and they do faster the application process. So the before in the like Pfizer or some other companies, they have their own kind of standards, and then that time it's going to be taking some more tricky and complex things, and FDA take more time to accept the applications. So now they go very faster because everyone's sending the applications in the same standards and same guidelines, and the process will be faster. And that's the reason the CDs organizations, they're providing the implementation guidelines, and we should have to follow them.
Okay.
So you can explain that to the non-clinical background person. Okay. So SDTM implementation guidelines, ADAM implementation guidelines. Okay, these are the two important ones for as a clinical SAS statistical programmers. So in other, you will have other ones in the CDM. In the CDM, we will have C dash or send or open data, ODM, I guess ODM is something. So those ones we don't take these ones implementation guidelines. We take only these two. Okay. Okay. So the SDTM classifications, domain classes. Okay.
7 types, right?
I'm sorry.
We have 7 types, right?
Yes. Yeah, you know it, right? So yeah, if you check the implementation guidelines, you will find out there also.
Yeah, I have 3.2 that like
Yeah, it's gonna be
3.2
the
question.
same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same. The only thing, but you check 3.4 version, you go because these are the free sources, right? You can easily
Okay.
download and
Okay.
check.
Okay.
And what are the changes in 3.2 to 3.4? You can just change. And this is also very important to note down what are the changes happen in 3.3 to 3.4. Because in the interview they will ask you, because if you're keeping some experience, obviously you should have to know like, okay, let's new variables are added, or this data set are decommissioned.
Okay.
uh, so those ones information you should have to know at least one or two examples.
Ali, quick question. Now this STDM uh, guidelines, who implement it? Like STDM, how? I mean, who implements this? Who writes this STDM
Yeah,
guideline?
see this organization.
Okay, CDS. Okay, they write it. Okay.
I told you, right, the providing implementation guidelines.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, the first one is special purpose domains. Okay. So basically you will have demographics, comments, subject elements, subject results. Okay, so I'm trying to losing my battery here. Okay, go faster. So observation class. So in that you will have three things. One is here is interventions. So exposure, exposure concomitant medications. We usually call it conmeds. And exposure. B is events. So events. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you lost.
No, no, I'm here. I'm writing.
Let me save this one because I think is the battery is gonna go dead this one. So
I'm recording it, Ali.
okay, yeah, sure.
I'm getting record, so we don't need to worry too much.
Because I'm just explaining in like in advance to you because my battery is very less. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be I try to bring my charger, but the thing is that my charger is like Indian now, so I need to plug in one place only. So I need to go
Oh,
inside my both like my
okay.
wife
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
sleeping there. That's why I came outside. Tomorrow I'm gonna keep it like more charging. So
Okay.
okay, so the finding is anyway, you know the classes, right? So yeah, I am explaining it. So, laboratory, laboratory or ECG.
Do we need to by heart all these things?
Yes, you should have to know
Okay.
findings about. So we will have skin response from this one, skin response, and the trial design. So the trial arms, trial summary, trial elements, trial inclusion, exclusion criteria. Okay, and the fifth one is relationship. So we have a supplementary domains, and domains. Yeah, custom domains. Okay. So these are the classifications for the SDTM. So if you can by heart these ones, it should be enough. Okay. There are many things. There are many more, but if you know only few things like the mostly the classes, you should be good. But if you check in the SDTM implementation guidelines, because you have 3.2, right? 3.2. Check that one,
Okay.
and you can check all the what are the findings. The findings you will have many of them. So you check that one, and so these are the main classes they do.
Okay.
So in the tumor for the oncology, we'll have more TU, TR, and RS. Okay, the tumor identification, tumor measurement, and the response. So
Okay.
these are extra data sets in the SDTM you have to be created.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we can stop it here, and we'll continue for tomorrow.
Okay.
So tomorrow we're gonna go directly to the SDTM. The thing SDTM programming. We're gonna start with the DM tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. And also I'm gonna explain the control terminology and the SDTM specification part. So before we go to the DM, okay?
Okay.
All right, Maradi. So
Yeah.
I'll send you these